All right, this video is going to be a little different, maybe a little short. I don't know. But I saw this picture on the internet and it made me stop and think about a couple of things. First thing it made me stop and think about is there's a lot of people in the world, a lot of people lost and dying and going to hell that are this close, but they didn't make it in the cup. And I wonder about why they didn't make it in the cup. And I wonder if it's not because they're not hearing some of that good old time religion preaching. You know, that kind that was good enough for Paul and Silas. Should be good enough for me. That kind that was good enough for Grandma and Grandpa. Ought to be good enough for me. And that kind that was good enough for Mom and Dad. And that ought to be good enough for me. But somehow, we as Christians, we as ministers, are not spreading that kind of gospel anymore. We want to make everybody feel good. We want to teach them how to prosper. And I believe we should teach them how to prosper. But I believe we ought to get them saved first. All the prosperity in the world is not going to do them any good if they burn in hell. So, how about we agree to go back to doing what God called preachers to do? And that's preach the gospel. Paul said, I preach Christ and Him crucified. Jesus said, put your flesh to death. Pick up your cross and follow me. Paul said he died daily so that he wouldn't be stuck on the edge of the cup. So let's think about that. A lot of people that close, not in the cup yet. Now, what about we as Christians and ministers? How many of us are that close, but not in the cup yet? I've been there, done that. Thank God I don't even have a t-shirt to prove that. If I didn't tell you, you'd never know. Because God's gracious and He forgives. But we wonder why God's not moving in our lives, why God's not moving in our ministries. Well, can I tell you from experience, the only way you're ever going to get an answer to that is go to God and say, God, what is it that I didn't do? What's the last thing that you told me to do that I didn't do? And when He tells you, go back and do it. That's what I finally did. I said, Lord, what was it? And He told me. And I went back and did it. And I fell right in the cup. Now, can I tell you some of those things that are not the eastern sky breaking open and Jesus stepping down in front of us and saying, I want you to do this. Sometimes it's a still small voice. Sometimes it's, will you do this for me? Will you do this because you love me? Will you do this because you love my church? Will you do this because you love my people? Will you do this because you love a lost and dying world? Will you do this? But it's a question. It's not a command. And we just kind of blow it off. And then we wonder why. Have you found yourself wondering why lately? If you have, ask God, what's the last thing He asked you to do that you didn't do? Then go back, run back and do it. And you'll find that He starts talking to you again. And you'll find out you're no longer sitting on the lip of the cup. You're in. I'll leave you with this. Being this close to the cup and not falling in golf will only add a stroke to your score. Being this close to the cup and not falling in as far as God's concerned, if you're not saved, could mean an eternity in hell for you. If you are saved, could be a lot of misery. Because if we've missed God, if we've not done what He's asked us to, and He's not moving in our lives, we are most miserable, and I can tell you that, as I said, by personal experience. So, do a checkup. Do me a favor. If you know me well enough that you're watching these videos and you're wondering why God is not moving in your life the way you'd like Him to, go to Him in prayer sincerely and say, Lord, have I missed it? Have you asked me to do something and I didn't? If that's the case, Lord, show me what it was. And then, like I said before, run back to it and do it. And then do me one more favor. Start telling a lost and dying world about a salvation that's brought forth by a Savior. Something that will keep them from dying and going to hell. That's all I got to say tonight. Have a blessed evening. Come back and see me. And leave me some comments, even if you don't agree. Talk to you later.